So, welcome everybody to this launch event for the Future Work Forum website, the Future Work Forum program of insights, and the discussion, the focus group discussing the first of these insights today. I'm Peter Thompson. I have the pleasure of chairing the Future Work Forum. And today what we want to do is run very quickly through what the forum is about, the website itself, which is new and interesting. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because, of course, at your leisure, you can go and look at the website. Indeed, if you're looking at a recording of this, you might even have found it via the website. I want to talk a little bit about the partners of the Future Work Forum who make up what it is. The Insights program we mentioned already. Monthly, we're going to change each of the insights. So this is a constant way of getting in touch with what it is the forum is about, our latest thinking. Then talk to this specific topic of the month. At the end, after the discussion, Michael Devlin, who's doing the next month's insight, just at the very end, I'll ask him for a few teasers onto what it is that we're going to cover in the future. Bearing in mind, if you're watching the recording of this, of course, that may already have happened. And then a little bit on how you can get involved in the forum. The forum is an interactive medium, and that's what we're trying to make sure you get involved. And there are people here, I'm sure, who would love to get involved today in the discussion, if not in the future. So moving on to the Future Work Forum itself and what it actually is. It's a kind of community. It's a group of people who've got together because they have something in common. They have an interest in the future of work, funnily enough, but very much from a business leadership point of view. Yes, we look at social impact. Yes, we look at the environment. Yes, we look at the big picture. But many of our background is in business in one way or another. Apologies. And consequently, we are interested in leadership in particular. We're an independent think tank. We're not funded by anybody else. We're not part of any other organization. We're kind of a learning community. A group of people get together, and the benefit we get individually from being partners is sharing ideas in our meetings, online and physically, and learning ourselves for our own benefit. Partly it's just our own fascination in the future of work, and also for those of us that have clients that we pass the message on to, it helps inform our work that we do with other people. And leadership is one particular area. We're always looking at what's happening in the world of leadership, and human-centered leadership will be on the topic later. So we understand how organizations are changing, how the leadership, particularly the current trends in leadership, are being impacted by the world of work. Post-COVID, we've had a massive change in the way that work can be done, but maybe not a similar change in the attitudes from leaders about how their work should be done. The point about the forum, though, is we have lots and lots of ideas, but we're not trying to sell those ideas. We're not a consultancy per se. Individual partners may obviously sell their services. They advise clients left, right, and center. But the forum itself is a think tank. It's a forum. We get together. We talk to each other. We share ideas. We learn from each other. And now what we're trying to do is share that information out. So one of the benefits of being part of the forum and participating is that you get to see the views of several people. Lots of people write articles, people write books and so on. But the thing about the forum is we get together, people with different views. So when we come to talk about insights, you'll find there are videos of multiple discussions amongst different partners who all have slightly different views on the subject. And it's that combination that makes the Future Work Forum particularly unique. And so what we've tried to do over the last year is update the image of the forum, update the message we're giving out to the world. We're open now. It's very much in the past been a little bit of a kind of closed shop. A lot of people getting together, talk about the future of work. Now we're saying, actually, we want to share this stuff with other people. We're at a really exciting time in the future of work. And now's an opportunity to really share our thoughts with others. So we have an image of the website, and when you visit it, you'll see this is just the home page. We've got this, I think they call it a watercolor effect, some of the graphics, just to kind of make an interesting, colorful image while still being obviously a professional business orientated website. And what that does is gives you access not just to the ideas of the forum as a whole, but to the individual partners. We have 18 current partners at the moment, all of whom are experts in their own right on various subjects. To get to see them, talk to them, find out more about their ideas, you simply click on their picture on the relevant web page and it takes you through to them. Also, we've cleverly tried to link them with each of the articles or insights or activities or videos that they have personally been involved in. So it's, in theory, at least, it's an integrated site giving you access to the partners. The important thing is, though, you can contact each of those partners. There's a contact form to get through to them. You don't have to go via the Future Work Forum. If, on the other hand, you're not sure who you want to talk to, or you want to talk to the forum in general, then there's a general contact facility, obviously, on the website as well. So what we're doing now with the website is using that to share our thoughts. We decided to call it insights. I know it's a word used by other people, but we thought, really, we have had a lot of insights over the years. The forum's been going for 20 years, and it has had different partners over the time. We look back and we realize on the old website, we had 70 articles written by Future Work Forum partners, many of which had been published in particularly the Global Focus magazine run by European Foundation for Management Development, but other publications as well. And we were kind of hiding this as a resource. So we really want to open that up, encourage people to read the stuff we've written. It's fascinating, actually going back to stuff that we wrote 3 or 4 years ago, or even 10 years ago, and finding how current some of it is, or finding how much the world of work has actually moved on in the last few years. So there's a load of wealth of material. And a way to access it, we said if each partner takes a topic which he or she has been involved with in the past or is very current, they then will make it some updated comment. So in many cases, we take today's subject, for example. I've taken human-centered leadership. We wrote an article about that a couple of years ago. We've referred back to that, say, is that still relevant in today's management and leadership and political climate? Is that still relevant? And we'll discuss that later. So as the lead partner on that one, when you go to look at the insight, and this month, it has my insight on the home page of the website as we go through each year. So the website features different of insights, one different each month from a lead partner. And what we've done in preparing those insights is asked several of the partners to talk about the subject. It's what we do all the time internally in our meetings, but now you get access to that because we recorded some of those discussions in videos, edited them down a bit to make them nice and concise, and they're there for you to see. Some partners have decided to do a little PowerPoint to introduce their subject. So there's a various different media that we're using. But now the key thing for you is what we want to do is open this up, make it a discussion. So the LinkedIn page, our LinkedIn page now has the discussion opened on this month's topic. At the beginning of each month, the lead partner will open a discussion on that topic and lead a discussion. So that's the kind of written input. And then also once a month, and this is kind of today's one, or it's slightly hybrid today, we have a focus group. We decided we're not going to run a webinar because that's just something very much one way to a large audience. We wanted actually to make the forum two-way with people who want to join in. So a focus group is very much just that. It's a small group. We're saying at the moment a maximum of 12 seats around the table. You join in, and the point is you're not just passively sitting back and listening to our ideas, but you're contributing to the discussion. And that's, again, one of the benefits of the New Look Forum is that it is interactive, definitely. So here's a little commercial as to what the forum is and the new website is. Okay, so before we go on to talk about today's topic, what I want to do is just take you very briefly. We are now 15 minutes into our 30 minutes through a whistle-stop tour of the Future Work Forum website as it now exists. So here we are. This is now the Future Work Forum website live as we see it. And you see, one of the key messages we have on this is insight, innovation, and impact, the three things we stand for. And those are featured on our About page. So when we go to About, you see all the history of the forum, what we're about, and so on, how we work. And then the insight, innovation, and impact messages coming out strong through there. But just back to the homepage for a minute. As you scroll down the homepage, the stuff about obviously what the forum's about, who the partners are, how to get into our thinking. We talked about that already through LinkedIn. And then this is this month's featured insight. So something about human-centered leadership, and then the three people who've been involved in the particular discussion on this subject. And then as we continue to scroll down, so every page you can get in touch with us by going in it to an individual partner or to the forum in general. And bottom right and on the page, we have a sign up for a newsletter. We're going to try and do a regular monthly newsletter, but also we'll find that we have news items regularly in a news section on the website. So today's event is mentioned there. We have events that are happening. All sorts of different resources. So we have articles and books, news, videos, and so on. And discussions we're having, like the forums that we're having, and also now, of course, we are using LinkedIn very much as the interactive medium. So hopefully those of you who are on LinkedIn have come across us already. So we're on to today, we're on an insight. And so we have a number of insights up and ready. Today's human-centered leadership. We have at least 6, each of which will get featured individually over the next 6 months. So in a minute, we'll hear about music as a theme for next month. But today is the human-centered leadership one. And so if you go after today's meeting to this particular insight, you can click on the video with the discussion between the three of us. There's a summary of where we're at the moment, the ideas from the forum, and a link to the original article from a couple of years ago, so we can go back and look at what it is that where we're coming from. But now back to that's a very brief look at the website. I hope you get a feel for the new image as well. But now if we go back to today's meeting, and we're into the second half of this meeting, which is now much more interactive, which is I want now to have people's views on these questions, really. So where are we in this new world, very much of different leadership from all sorts of places, including political leadership? Where are we with the new world? Are we now looking at a world that has gone past the DEI period, past being a bit too woke, and should we now be focusing back on more hard-nosed leadership, or are we still needing to have a human-centered focus? Are we saying strong leaders are people who need to get the job done, get their wayward employees who are busy not working from home, get them back into the office and working, which seems to be one of the kind of current trends? Or is that just actually missing out on all the good things that people get by working in collaborative ways in teams? So that's the theme. So I'm not going to stop talking about that and really get back to a group of people here. And if you'd like to speak, please hold up your virtual hand, ideally, although you can hold up a real hand if you want to, and I might catch you. And then we will get your views on the subject. Or if everybody's very modest, I might just randomly pick on one of you to make a comment on this particular subject. Anybody have any thoughts about human-centered leadership? Have we gone too far the other way from human-centered leadership? Anybody want to go first, or am I simply going to pick somebody? Okay, fairly randomly, Matthias Meleni, would you like to, Matthias, to give us your view on the subject, human-centered leadership?
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. So we were too far away from being human-centric in the last decades, whatever. Much too much goal and performance focus, and now we figure out, it has to be both. So we have to work with both hands, with the performance and the leadership, and working hard hand and with the human hand at the same time, because it belongs to the same body. And this kind of balance is very important, and I think this is also what the Future Workforce stands for. We're not a kind of soft factor company or soft factor promoters only. We're working, I think we're interested in the good of the company. So what does a company or an organization good? And this is basically the balance, human-centered. And, the title could be human-centered leadership. It has both human and leadership.
Great, thank you very much. Comment from somebody else. How about Michael Jenkins? You look like you have something to say.
Well, hello, Peter. Yes, I guess sitting here in Singapore and thinking about an Asian perspective on things, maybe the yin and yang approach could be something to think about in terms of maybe we need not only a human-centered approach, but also an open-mindedness to what technology can also bring into the picture. And I was struck really by the discussion so far in terms of thinking of some emergent and very interesting areas of thought and discussion. That's around collaborative intelligence. I think the fact is we can do a lot of really exciting things with technology, and at the same time, there is I guess, a beauty and something special about being able to get together people to people. And I think if it was an ideal world, which of course it isn't, then we'd probably be able to tap on both of those different polarities of tech exclusively and people exclusively. But I think human-centered leadership is really the way to go.
Thank you, Michael. Jennifer, you have your hand up. You'd like to unmute, and we're off.
Yes, there we go. In my work with companies across all different industries and geographies, I'm finding more and more that as we move towards a tech-driven infrastructure and the emphasis on tech to get stuff done quickly, that actually creates a greater appreciation and a greater awareness and value of people. So, I mean, if we think back to that statement that you made previously, and I agree with you, Peter, that if you look at the last, well, probably 100 years in the industrial age mindset, it's been about how do we execute? How do we get shit done? How do we build more KPI goals? How do we hit the numbers? That kind of stuff, the getting stuff done, tech is great for. The companies that really stand out, that do more than just hit the numbers, that really change industries, change lives, change the way things are done, those are the companies that have the leaders that are creative, the Apples of the world, the innovation, the thinking differently. And that's out of the box. And that's what I believe people can do much better than tech. So in that way, I think the importance of people and human-centric leadership to bring out those human factors while leveraging tech is more important than ever.
Okay, Marine has a hand up. Marine.
Hello, everyone. Well, I'm sat in some beautiful offices here. One of my clients who they've just moved to these offices maybe 4 months ago, and they've even got a cinema area where people come and gather together with this beautiful screen, and then they also connect with one another. And I guess I'm just reflecting on my experience of being here. I'm meeting several people today. I do quite a lot of online coaching with various individuals within the team. I've also spent time both in person and virtually with those clients. But there's nothing that replaces being here together and feeling them and smelling them and spending time. And actually, the last meeting I had with the CEO, he was sat just here, and we had on the screen a couple of other members in a hybrid way. And I just think the best of both worlds exists. Now, the tension is who can afford to create these sorts of conditions that enable people to come in, have a real community feel, but also is able to expand that across some of this technology that Jennifer references. And yeah, getting it right, get that balance is not an easy task. So I don't underestimate how these decisions around how work practices are established in a relational way need to be architected.
Okay, thank you, Semrine. Yes, we're definitely very much in a hybrid world. We've probably got time for one more comment, and Sabine, I think, had her hand up first. So Sabine.
Yeah, I very much agree with all these different insights. And I would say human-centered leadership was never out. I mean, it's still there. It has a place in the world. It's needed. And now it's the time of not either or. It's the time of and. Yeah, have both worlds. Create the best of both worlds. And I love the framing from Michael Jenkins, as he said before, the open-mindedness. This is what we really need to support AI on one hand and human-centered leadership on the other. Just because AI can do something, it doesn't mean it has to do it always. And just because we can do a lot of things in human-centered leadership, we don't have to do it always. So it's a real discussion about how to combine these both worlds.
I think, the trend towards human-centered leadership is so critical right now. There's so much change happening in our global world. The uncertainty around AI. How many people really understand AI and the impact? We have global conflicts happening that we don't understand the full impact and the ramifications. And I think as a result of that uncertainty, it drives a lot of ambiguity about the future. And in that situation, under those circumstances, leadership becomes incredibly important, and we need leaders who we can trust in the future. And trust only comes from people who actively listen and who actively show kindness towards people. That's the only way they can kind of touch people and fully understand what's going on in their worlds. We don't know most of the time what's happening in someone's day. We don't know what's behind the scenes, and leaders need to show huge amounts of empathy, compassion, and the ability to fully understand and to be fully inclusive. And I think, that's where the future of leadership goes. And yes, business performance matters, but, there's this misdemeanor and a misunderstanding that you can only drive performance with an iron fist or a dictatorial approach. And it's, the reality is it's very, very opposite to that. So hopefully we get a new breed of leadership. We get one that's more compassionate. And Patrick, I know you're a big believer in this, and we need one that generates true kindness and doesn't just pay lip service to people. And I think when we get that, then we can come together, we can break down boundaries, and we can be one human race. And I think that's what leadership requires. And I think this forum has already started to break down those boundaries. We've got partners from all around the world, and yet we have common goals. And that's what we need to aim to achieve. So, with 5 generations in the workforce, we have to fully understand the impact and the needs of everybody. And, hopefully this forum can help to lead that.
Okay, that's very, thank you very much for that, Stuart. I couldn't have said it better myself. in terms of summarizing where we're at. But just before we go, Michael Devlin, I'd like you to say just a few words about the insight that is coming up next month, which is your topic on music and leadership. Michael, can we have a little bit of 30 seconds of what we can look forward to next month?
Sure. I will not want to steal the thunder from the event, from the focus group, but to give you just a little teaser of what I hope the conversation will develop, how the conversation will develop. That there have been a number of things published on music and business, music and teams and whatnot. And most of this, from what I've seen, has been academic. So the approach that I'd like to bring to the discussion is learning by doing. So it's inspired by how a small music ensemble interacts to work together to produce beautiful music. There is a direct parallel which can inspire teams. We have a group of superior, talented people work together to reach a common goal, et cetera, et cetera. It has to do with harmony, rhythm, timing, pace, and above all, it's the most important capacity in the musical realm, which I think we can learn for, is the power of listening and listening together. So that may sound a little bit esoteric, but I can tell you that the examples from jazz groups in the past, and for how people interact in the music and music realm, will be explained in nice examples that then we can then open into a discussion. So that's what we can look forward to.
Great. Thank you very much indeed, Michael. So we can all look forward to an interesting month next month on that subject. Join in on July the 23rd, I think it is. There's a date for the discussion which Michael will be chairing his focus group. So thank you all very much for joining in this launch event, and please continue to visit the Future Work Forum website. Keep up to date with that, and I will leave you finally with, again, the little show reel that we have regarding the site.